Hello everyone and welcome to Edge Time. If you're new to the channel, I just recently started making knife review videos here on YouTube, and I plan on putting out a knife review video once a week, as well as a watch or flashlight review every once in a while as well. And also, for every knife review that I make, I will put out a disassembly for that knife, including this one. So, the knife we'll be looking at today is the Spyderco Pair 3 Lightweight. This is sort of the entry into the USA-made Spyderco lineup, and it has several cost-saving and weight-saving features. This is the Pair 3 Lightweight. This knife comes in at 2 5/8 inches of cutting edge length, so just over 2.5 inches. 3 inches of overall blade stock length here, and then around 7 1/4 inches of overall length, that's open length, and then it is right around, I would say, about 4.5 inches closed length. So some interesting points about this knife are the blade design. It has a triangular blade shape, seen on other Spyderco knives, just sort of a interesting, unique shape. And it does have, of course, Spyderco's signature round hole. Wouldn't really be a Spyderco without the round hole. It does have a nice thumb ramp here, as well as a choil, and this knife is a full flat grind, which is a very durable, usable, slicey sort of grind. This knife also has an interesting feature here of distal taper. Most pocket knives do have distal taper, which is the taper of the spine towards the point, but this one, it starts way further back on the knife than most other folding pocket knives. So it's a good blade. It's made out of Carpenter Tool Steel's BD1N steel, which is a mid-range steel. I would compare it in price and quality to something around a VG10. And BD1N, it's fairly easy to sharpen, and it keeps a really good edge, very good edge retention. It's not the toughest steel. I've sharpened this one quite a bit, and it's starting to show its wear. I have had this one for nearly 4 years now, so that's totally fine that it's starting to show a little bit of wear considering how much I've used it. So overall, good steel and good blade shape, very useful. The handle design is one of the things that I'm not so thrilled about this knife. The handle looks very ergonomic, but when you actually handle it, you'll notice that the blade shape, or not the blade shape, but the handle shape sort of limits what you can use the knife for. For very fine cutting tasks, for opening packages, stuff like that, it's fine. You can get a good grip on it, but like if you're going to do big, large cuts, there's not really a good way to handle it. So like if I was whittling on something or trying to just peel the bark off of a stick or something like that, that's sort of a big sweeping motion. And there's really not a good way to handle the knife to do that. If you put your finger back here in this larger recess here, then it just sort of, it feels a little awkward. But if you put your finger here, then it's difficult to get the back of the edge up close to whatever you're working on. So if you're using it probably how it should be used, just as a light EDC, then it's not really much of an issue. But if you're going to be using it for heavier duty tasks, I would definitely go with a paramilitary 2 or even a full-size military. The pocket clip is probably my least favorite thing about this knife. It's not so much this wire pocket clip in particular, it is wire pocket clips in general. That is why part of the reason I have postponed getting a Spyderco Dragonfly is because it does have a wire clip. I don't have one of those yet. Maybe if Spyderco puts out a Dragonfly with a solid clip, might look into that. But the thing about wire pocket clips is that they don't have quite the same retention as solid pocket clips. They are sort of they just don't have the same pocket feel. To me, they look a little strange in the pocket, even though they are deep carry. It just still, something looks a little bit off about it to me. And the attachment method for this particular wire pocket clip is a little bit flimsy. It's basically just held on by this screw and then screw post, which is nested into the FRN. But the FRN has sort of fiberglass reinforced nylon, that is. FRN means fiberglass reinforced nylon. It's nested in there, and it has slowly stripped away in there over time to where now this just spins freely, and I can't really get the pocket clip all that tight because of that. It's still tight enough to use. It's not going to fall out of your pocket, but it just that's a little bit annoying. I almost wish that Spyderco had done something to improve that. Maybe put a little bit of steel in there. Speaking of the FRN, though, this knife does have, of course, FRN scales with Spyderco's bidirectional grip pattern, which is very nice and grippy. I love the look of it, especially on the Japanese knives. It's just it's not quite as grippy as G10, and it can having FRN scales can cause some flex issues as well. Not really very bad on this knife. It's a little more noticeable on other knives like the Benchmade bug out, but yeah, overall, they executed the FRN well. It's just FRN is a cheaper material. The action is very nice and smooth. Everything does its job. The compression lock works very well, always locks up tight, but also is able to swing shut freely. One interesting thing about the action is it's really best, especially for the Para 3 lightweight, to always open it with your middle finger with a spider flick. Because if you go to open it with your thumb, then the compression lock will sort of pinch part of your finger here, and it's gonna be kind of annoying. So just consider that when you're looking into this one, that you will most likely have to spider flick this one most of the time, or this is fun, and I've done this before. Take a zip tie and tie it around this top portion of the hole here, and make sort of a little uh, budget Emerson opener. And that is a fun thing to do with this knife, and really any Spyderco knife you can do it too. So overall, this is an excellent knife. I'm just not sure if I would recommend it for the money. This knife was around, I believe, $140 when I got it. It was it was in a cutlery store that was a little bit on the high end of the prices, but usually you can get this knife for closer to the $100 mark. But to me, it really is. It performs more like a $70 knife, I would say. It's the blade is never fully centered, that's just due to the knife due how sorry due to how the knife is built. The blade will never be perfectly centered, which that doesn't cause any issues. It doesn't rub at all, but it just there's several things such as like the steel and the handle material, and there's just several points where I feel like Spyderco sort of cut their costs a little bit with this one, which I can understand that. I believe probably part of their goal in designing this knife was not only to design a lighter weight version of the Para 3, but also to make a more affordable version of the Para 3, just sort of an entry into the USA made Spydercos. And I think in doing so, they maybe skimped on a few issues that they should have beefed up a little bit. But overall, it's not by any means a bad knife. Perfectly usable. It has not let me down when I really needed it. There have been these little irksome issues, but it's like a car that just has a few problems every now and then, but will still get you from point A to point B. This knife is very reliable. Never had any major issues with it. I will be making a separate review, or a separate, not review, but disassembly video for this knife, which will come out at the same time, and I'll also be making a short review for this as well. So I would say on a 1 to, we'll say on a 1 to 10 rating, I would give this one probably somewhere between a 6 and a 7. It is a USA made Spyderco. You can tell it's USA made. It's just if I had the same money, or if I was going to buy a Spyderco for the same money as this, I would probably buy a Japanese Spyderco instead, just because they've had more time to work out the bugs and stuff with the Delica and the Endura, and those are just more flagship sort of knives, whereas this is sort of a niche sort of knife, a lightweight Para 3. So yeah, overall, decent knife. Um, I wouldn't recommend it unless you need specifically a lightweight Para 3. Otherwise, I would just go with some other lightweight Spyderco. So with that, like I said, we'll have a separate disassembly video coming out with this one, and hopefully here in a few weeks or so, I might be putting out a watch or a flashlight review. Not quite sure yet. But without further ado, I will see you all in the next one. Have a good day.